Hey everybody, and welcome back to the channel. It's your girl Lori. If you hear a lawnmower, they're like right over there, so sorry about that. I wanted to talk to you about comparing yourself to other people. Okay, so I want to break it down for you because it's something I talk to my clients about all the time. You're comparing yourself to the idea of what you see. Okay, and I always use this as an example, right? That when you go on Facebook around Christmas time, you see everybody in matching pajamas and they're my clients, and I think you're like getting a divorce next week, but this looks cute, right? Because that's what I don't want you to get wrapped up into, because you're looking at it from a space of scarcity. Do you notice that there's like a theme this week? And I think I might stick with this theme, like not the the theme of scarcity, but being able to kind of do this in succession with different little bit of tips, and it kind of all rolls back up to this. This was kind of like a last minute thing, and I like the format for myself. It kind of works. But here's the thing with that, right? I want you to really think about why you're comparing yourself to other people, right? Oh, because they're doing this. You don't know what do you live with them? Are you in their head? Even if you live with them, are you in their brain? Do you know what they struggle with? Because let me promise you this. So everybody struggles with something. It's just, how do you handle that? How do you work with what it is that you're struggling with? How do you acknowledge it and give it grace? That's up to you. But see, you have to understand, you're comparing yourself to another person. That's solely reflected in insecurity. When you are secure with yourself and you love yourself, I promise you, there's zero comparison, and you actually want to see people win. That's what we call the win-win. If you, a great book to get, and I have it on kind of loop, right? With self-help books, including the one that I'm, shameless plug here, that will hopefully be out in the fall, that I'm writing for you. You want to kind of keep it on repeat. Don't just kind of keep them around once in a while. And the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People is one of those. And it talks to you about the lose-win, win-lose, and then win-win. And it's so freaking true that if you're, and listen, you can have a win-win or a win-no deal, right? He talks about that a lot. Stephen Covey is amazing. And he talks about that a lot, and it's so freaking true. You don't have to just say yes to something. You don't have to always compromise. Compromise is a lower version of win-win. Like, it's kind of like a little bit of a win there for the both of you. But if people aren't winning, then you're not really winning either. You might be winning temporarily, but if you step on people to get where you're going, or you wish them ill will, I promise you that that's not sustainable, like not even for a little bit. So that's why you want to be careful and know that you're only in competition with yourself. Now listen, at work, yeah, Becky in finance might really have it out for you. Okay, let her win the race by herself. Seriously, see, that's where your ego goes. If your ego's like, I'm smarter than her, why should she get, ego. Sometimes things aren't for you. And maybe that's a sign that, you know what, maybe it's not fair, and maybe it's time for you to look for a different place. Stop trying to force round pegs into square holes, and then looking at somebody and comparing yourself. And also be really careful what you say on socials, right? Because again, and I have a lot of clients who will be first to tell you, like, oh yeah, I use this filter, or I get these fillers. Like, I have fillers and Botox, and I just like it for myself. I mean, I'd love myself even if I was just a wrinkly old hag. It wouldn't bother me. I'm still going to love me. And just, hey, if you can enhance, why not? Do it for me. I don't care if anybody likes it or not. It's not their face. So that's what I'm saying, though. So you can't compare yourself to someone, because when you do, you hold yourself back. You prevent opportunities. You prevent love. You definitely prevent self-love. And then you self-sabotage yourself because you see these people really flourishing, but you don't know how long that they've really been at it, and you don't know what they deal with when they get home. So when you're comparing, remember you're doing so from what I call a Cinderella phase. You're looking at it and going, oh my God, that must be so great. That must be so nice. Okay, well, how do you know how they got there? And let me tell you, and this is the thing, and I say this all the time, work is hard as the people that you're comparing yourself to. Let me say it again. Work is hard as the people you're comparing yourself to, because they're working really hard to do that, even though it may look like they're not. Okay, you guys know I use the Kardashians a lot because I love the Kardashians. But yeah, okay, sure, they had a lot more of an opportunity than a lot of us to like open the door for them. But you know what? They have to do something with it. And I don't care if people say why Kim's famous or not. It doesn't matter. She's here now, baby. Love it, hold it, embrace it. Good for her. And I want her to win, because I want everybody to win. So you have to remember what I said before. Putting out somebody else's light doesn't make any difference in yours. It actually makes yours look a little crappy. Really kind of does. Seriously. So you have to understand that when you're comparing yourself to other people your age or younger than you and doing all of those things, stop doing so from a place of it being all about you. Let's celebrate people's achievements. That's the win-win mentality. When you win, I win. When I win, you win. And that's just the facts. You know, I mean, okay, I'll give you an example of that. I try to give so many free resources. This is a free resource. The podcast is a free resource. TikTok, Instagram, all free resources. Now, if you want to go deeper and go more, a lot more aggressive and ready for just your individual self, because I don't have just a cookie cut thing. It's going to be based on you. Well, it also helps me in my livelihood, but it also, I always want to make sure that I give you what you need before you give me what I need. And that's just how I roll, right? Like, even if some of you will maybe never become my clients, that's okay. I'm still going to give you as many free resources as I can. Why would I not? I want you to succeed. See, when you say you're kind and that you love people and then you compare yourself, you're contradicting yourself. No, you don't. You love the people that you can kind of maneuver. So you want to check yourself. Check yourself on this comparison thing, because it's never going to serve your best and highest good. And even, you know, you're never in competition with anybody but yourself yesterday. Not even yourself 5 years ago. Self yesterday, 5 minutes ago. So chill out on the comparison, because you only see their story, not their glory. I mean, their glory, not their story. Chill out. You don't know what somebody is going through. You see them from a perspective of what you want, but you want to get to the Super Bowl and you don't want to play the game to get there. We ain't going to do that, because then you're just going to constantly stay in a space of comparison.